Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today I'm visiting Yadea here at the Milan Motorcycle Show to see what kind of new bikes, new technology, and new products they're showing off at the show. Come along with us while we check it out. As usual, Yadea came in force and had a ton of models to show off, as well as some cool new technology. The main event that drew quite a crowd was the much anticipated unveiling of the company's new VLAX U electric scooter. As the curtain was pulled back, we finally got our first look at the new model, which is built on the familiar VLAX platform, but features a pair of new removable batteries totaling 4 kilowatt hours and a 4.9 kilowatt peak rated motor. Like I said, we've seen other VLAX versions from Yadea before, and here's another one actually that is designed for fast charging, with batteries that can be recharged to 80% in just 20 minutes. With a setup like this, the rider wouldn't need to worry about home charging or removable batteries, since they could just fast charge whenever they're in a pinch. Though for some riders, especially delivery riders, even 20 minutes could feel like a long time to wait while you're on the job, and so Yadea's battery swapping cabinets are designed to get riders from empty to full in less than a minute with a quick swap. And speaking of batteries, check out what Yadea's been working on that front. First of all, they've got these graphene batteries, which are a great upgrade over the typical lead-acid batteries used in many of the company's domestic market scooters. But they're also leading in sodium-ion batteries, which have some major safety advantages, not to mention compete favorably with lithium-ion batteries in other metrics, such as charge cycles and energy density. They're also working on solid-state batteries, like this one designed for Yadea's electric motorcycles, though it's not likely to be commercially available for a few more years. But those motorcycles, on the other hand, are more readily accessible. They've got two models, the Kemper and the Keenus, two different sizes for different types of riding, but this year they're also showing off the extended range version of each, with the Kemper boasting up to 40 kilowatts of peak power. That's the bigger motorcycle you're going to want for that higher performance. But it's the Keenus that has already entered the North American market, specifically the Mexican market, with a price equivalent to just over $8,000 US, which is pretty darn competitive for a full-size electric motorcycle. I saw the bike performing some pretty impressive riding at last year's EICMA also, so I'm glad to see this model hitting the North American market, and I'm sure more countries will be added to that list soon. Both of these electric motorcycle lines are probably the most exciting models here because of their high performance, but Yadea is best known for its electric scooters, and they had several other models on display in that group. The GS80 here is a popular new model designed for Europe, with features like a 5 kilowatt motor and anti-lock braking. But the Owen model here is one that I think is also going to be a hit in Europe, since it is obviously inspired by those classic European scooters and looks a bit more retro than most of Yadea's other more futuristic looking scooters. You can tell it's not just a carbon copy of a typical Italian scooter though, and instead it's more of an inspired by situation with a bit of its own flair in terms of that somewhat small and more angular front shield, for example. But it's still got some classically inspired details, and I think this one is pretty slick looking. Going even further down the line of micromobility vehicles brings us to the company's smaller offerings, from the wide range of standing electric scooters, including this new off-road scooter with front and rear racks, to the electric bikes. The moped-style Trooper e-bike here has been updated into the Trooper Pro, but what I really liked was this new NEX electric bike with a torque sensor, Gates belt drive, and an internal 2-speed hub built right into that hub motor in the back. This is definitely a slick-looking e-bike, even if the power is limited to just 250 watts continuous to comply with EU regulations. There is also this cool UC300, which is more of a seated scooter than an e-bike, but I just really like that open frame design and how simple and minimalist it looks. But if we're talking about minimalism, wait until you see this wild thing. This is called the Solo, and it's a self-folding and unfolding seated electric scooter. It's got a little 300 watt motor, and it just scoots around like a miniature motorcycle. Because of its briefcase-sized folding setup, it's great for public transportation or keeping in your car as a last-mile device, and it's so easy to fold up because it literally folds itself at the push of a button. And last but not least, I'm always a sucker for a fun trike, and Yadea brought 3 of their trike models to the show, including a mini pickup truck-style utility trike, a more bare-bones kid transporter that's great for the grandparents to use to pick up the kids after school, and an actually surprisingly nice fully enclosed e-trike that gives off some serious automotive vibes. Obviously it's not a real car, but the fit and finish was so much nicer than I expected on this that it felt like you weren't in some sort of weird trike thing anymore, that you were really in a real vehicle. It's a pretty good summation of what Yadea is trying to do here, bringing a more premium feel to the same tech and performance they've been building into their electric vehicles for a while. And as the world's largest EV maker, they seem to know what they're doing. I saw a lot of interesting things in their booth, but this doesn't even scratch the surface to how many cool vehicles they have in their lineup, since they literally have hundreds of different models, all produced in their nearly dozen factories spread all over the world. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that visit to Yadea's booth here at the Milan Motorcycle Show. If you did enjoy the video, why don't you give it a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.